Oh dear, here it is. It's another atonal adventure with GetJervis. Hi you beautiful people, how you doing? Who's in the chat? So got Tom, Andy, Lisa, Simon, Hippopotiverse, and the child E is in there somewhere as well. So welcome to a Tuesday. Yes. So I've been in here for an hour trying to figure out all of this. I'm trying something a little bit different. I can hear an echo in here, which is impossible. I'm going to turn the aircon off because it was really noisy in last week's jamming in Gem Jam. So I'm going to turn that off and deal with the cold. Hot. We'll deal without the cold. Anyway, yes, so, yeah, it's all about... Hi, Steve. Are you in there? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. So, yeah, another kind of crazy... I think it's my headphones. I've been trying to sort of figure out different ways of doing things, and I figured that I wanted to get more inputs into my switcher, which has only got 2 mini jacks. So I wanted to take the MFB Synth. Let's just do that. The MFB Synth in, as well as the polyend tracker separately, and then have my voice coming through a camera, which seems to work really well last time when we had a bit of malfunction with the battery of the microphone. So I've got those fully charged. That should be good. So so far, so how's the but anyway, we've got the echo back, so I'm really completely bewildered why that's the case, but there we go. Did Gaz get the memo for tonight? No, actually, when I spoke to Gaz last week, was it last week? He was knee deep. No, he was neck deep in rehearsals for Brecon Jazz this week. He's got a really big gig with Steve Davis at Brecon Jazz on Saturday, which unfortunately I'll be in Wales for. So, but there we go. But yeah, so I think he's probably he's rehearsing like a madman. Because you do, don't you? If you've got a big gig, you rehearse, and that's the way to do it. So yeah, so that's it. So that's kind of, that's where he is. I'm here, I've been gardening. I'm wearing long sleeves because I'm covering up my wounds because I am shredded with brambles, which isn't cool. So how's everybody else tonight? We have a tone. Yeah, I know. Do you know what? I have no idea where it's coming from. Is that gone? Is it gone? Yeah, it's the MFB Synth, even without the... Oh, it's the release. If I've turned the... I don't think this is working properly. I mean, it wouldn't be a GetJervis live stream if something worked perfectly. Now, I've got a delay, so I'm taking my headphones off while I address you guys, which will get kind of a little bit more confusing later on as we talk about the synth, and I'm going to have to play it. Yeah, good. It is the MFB Synth. Hopefully... Is it back? Hopefully not. No one's saying anything. Yes, it is back. Okay. Gone? Yeah, okay. So the good news is that I know why it's making that noise. I don't think the filter's working on this. I'll try to do a filter sweep. I did take it to pieces to give it a clean and not put it back properly. So it's been... I only dug it out for when I did the cassette episode a couple of weeks ago. Peter, welcome aboard, sir. Popping in while I'm at work in the Lake District. Ooh, nice place to be at work. Anyway, so whilst you're there then, Peter, what are you drinking? I'm drinking coffee tonight. A very strong coffee. In fact, so strong, it's beyond. Anyway, it's called... Oh, it's called Grumpy Mule, and it's made in Yorkshire, which is always a good thing. Let me just do a little top-down action there. So there it is, Grumpy Mule. It says Dark Peak Beans. I think there's some sort of there's something missing. Dark Peak. What does that mean? Dark Peak Blend. Oh, I see, Dark Peak Blend. All right, fair enough. Beans, strong, intense, and fortifying. So I'm fortifying myself. It will kick you this hard at 6 beans. This bag is full of whole coffee beans. And the tasting notes are cocoa nibs, muscovado sugar, and roasted hazelnuts. That's my top tip for coffee. If you have to drink coffee, if you like coffee, that's the one I would drink. Cup of cocoa yogi tea, nice. Oh, okay. And we're doing tech in the theatre. Oh, that's nice. Peter, that's nice. Water for you there, Andy, that's nice. What else we got? Steve's a lovely glass of South African Merlot. Lovely. And Simon, Radlers. Oh, I do like a good Radlers. Yeah, that's okay though, that's okay. An orange tea for Tom. Again, good, that's okay, it's all good. You're drinking beer, Lisa. That's fine. You've got the sort of the big live event, haven't you? Hardware Jams. Is that the 9th? When, on the 9th, 7 o'clock, set your reminders. Cider, yes. Yes, Andy, you're right. Cider, not beer. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? So, no cider, always cider. No cider, always cider. No, no, says Tom. No. Bit of the old scrumpy juice. Yeah, we do like that as well. I've got, in a couple of weeks, I'll be up in, or across in Wiltshire, tasting the cider that I helped make back in September last year. We picked the apples, so it's going to be nearly a kind of a very wonderful thing. We're back on Saturday to watch the Hardware Jams Festival. Yeah, missing our coastal. Oh, yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, that's right. For the first time. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, Friday's when it kicks off. 7 o'clock on Friday, Hardware Jams. Set your reminders. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to that as well. But I think that's everything. So, voice is good. I think we've got that kind of covered now. I can hear myself reflected in my, or echoing in my headphones down there, which is kind of, but I'll mute myself, so that's not going to be too annoying. You're very welcome, Lisa, very welcome. And I'll be jumping in as much as I can be. Maybe Saturday night I want to finish, but yeah, early Sunday with the boy and his football football tournament. Crazy. Left Sophie, Clive, and Seb in charge. That's going to be good, Peter. Yeah. One day I will come and I will join one of those coastal electronauts events. I will do that definitely. In the meantime, let's focus on what tonight's World of Synths is about. So, the Mini Moog. I guess now I don't know if it was Bob Moog's idea or if it was one of the guys working there. So let's make the Model A, right? So the Model A had 3 oscillators. Who said that was the right layout for a synth? Does anybody know? Does any know the story behind that? Because that would be an interesting one to notice. Do you know where to find the answer to that? I just realised it's the one Buick I don't have. It's the story of the Mini Moog. That's a blatant plug for that book right now. I mean, I've got Patch and Tweak with Moog just there, which may, it's quite bright, isn't it? Which may have some information about it, but we could be here for all day. Yeah. Anyway, look, I'm going to do a little top down because this is a thing of beauty. If you, who doesn't have one of his books? I mean, they're absolutely phenomenal things. So beautiful, absolutely so well done. But anyway, so having dug out the MFB from the bottom of a Fix-It box, well, the bottom is the top actually, to sort of have a look at what was in there, and I remember putting it by, and I used this quite a lot back in the day. It obviously struck me that it is a kind of mini Moog. I'm going to just move this. Oh, do not adjust your sets. I've spent so long getting everything kind of just right. Anyway, obviously it leans very heavily on the mini Moog design. But I would say perhaps without the ADSR, really? ADSR. The release is just on or off, so it's not quite an ADSR. Yeah, Peter, this is the first synth. I think it's 2001. The last I looked, these things were about £700. If you can find one, £700. And obviously, you know, Manfred Frick, God rest his soul, passed away a couple of years ago, sadly. I spoke to his son on my first gig, my first time at Superbooth, but I was working for my first gig for Thomann, interviewing people. I interviewed him, the drum machine, the 301, being reissued at that point. But yeah, quite sad that he's no longer with us. But the Dominion is an absolute beast of a synth for sure. So I guess the Dominion can trace its roots back to the synth, which, you know, is his first one. It's very sort of cheaply made and was quite, you know, inexpensive in its day. So I suppose it's only history, and like most things go up in value because of desirability. You know, that's it. And obviously you can't. They did a Synth 2, which is slightly different, not as cool looking. I don't think, it had blue on it. But as you know, as a synth, it's, again, I love, and as you can see from behind me, let's just switch cameras. As you can see, that's such a 4-track, but I love small synths, or things that have got a reasonably small footprint. I mean, you know, you've got the Megatron there, you've got the circuit, and I think the Nymphus is there as well. And I think we need to get that out and put that on the desk at some point as well. But yeah, I mean, that would go pair really well with this, actually, I think, because this is not polyphonic. It wouldn't pair very well with this. It would go better with the circuit tracks, which is polyphonic, not the circuit rhythm, which is monophonic. This, I suppose, is more like that. Now, needs more cowbell. James Dyson, it always needs more cowbell. That's what we need, which of course we can do. I've got some drums in there, so I think there might be cowbell in that, so we'll get that going in a minute. But the idea was to just play through again. I've already done a video on this. It was my 3rd ever video, and managed to get a hedgehog in it at the beginning, so I'll put a link to that. Click there afterwards, and I'll put a mark. So if you want to, I seem to do that every live stream. I'll put chapters. So if you want to go back and watch something, and you might find that I've chaptered it, or if it'll be between. So I think I'm regretting turning off the aircon right now. But let us have more coffee. Now I'm going to brave the delay. I don't know why it does this. I really have not found the key. Ooh, is there a buzz? Can we hear the buzz? Where's that came from? Uh-oh. So it might, is it this? There's got to be a better way of doing the buzz. No buzz here. I think the buzz is then on my end through the way I'm monitoring. I think it might be coming. I'm going through my monitor because the ATEM Mini Pro ISO that I use does not have headphones. So I'm going out into a monitor via HDMI, and that may be where the delay comes from, because there's a delay. Yes, anyway, I digress. I have a buzz. Hippopotamus has the buzz. Right, in which case we will probably find that. Let's just... it's not my mic, is it? Yeah, it's the tracker. I think that's USB noise, but Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Now there's... Oh. Brilliant. I mean, it wouldn't be one of my live streams if it worked perfectly. If ever that happens, for whatever reason... Oh. So, remember that live stream we all tuned in to watch about a synth that didn't work? That might be this one. Yeah, do you know, every week, Andy, I say, I'll do this, I'll do that, and I end up having an hour at max before the stream to solve issues, which in this instance was trying to get this thing midied up. Oh, I know why that's off. Right, okay, so you can hear me with a lot of buzz. I wonder, I mean, it's a... That's still there, isn't it? So it's not this. Right, mind yourself, I'll turn that off. It is off. Oh, see? Love it. Amuse yourselves for a minute, guys. Oops. Oh. And that's... I've been trying to make this video over the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot of preparation, and I had to make a platform. DIY skills are essential when you're making your own videos, clearly. Okay. It's this. I wonder if I bypass the effects, we'll lose the buzz. Could just be that. It will probably only come out of... Oh, my lovely... Oh, hello. Oh. Oh. Ah. No buzz. But insanely loud. Sorry, guys. And clearly only going through one side. Okay. Are we there? Oh. Right. Okay. How's that? Sorry, James. Yeah, and I don't know why it's so... It's a shame though. But look. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why it sounds so high, because I've got it as low as it goes. Maybe it's the... So, as well as having the mini Moog aspect, it's got a sequencer built in, which is really handy when you're just trying to demonstrate, like I am now, some of the cool things it does. I guess I can plug this back in now. Will that actually work? Yeah, I'm not going to play that though. Sorry guys, I think I was using that just to figure out if the MIDI side of things works. So let's go to... If you've not had a go at one of these, you really do... Oh, hang on. There we go. Are we too quiet now? There you go. Right, okay. But also, I think shades of Roland. That's square. Is that what we on there? It's not square. That's triangle. That's square. Okay. So let's have a little look at the synth. We should almost zoom in, but I'm not gonna adjust anything else. So, 3 oscillators. VCO1 is switchable between 3 out of tune. Yeah, that needs to be, there's tracking and core pitch here, which I need to investigate after the event. Here, this is the synth, it's out of tune. Welcome. So, VCO modulation. How much? So that's a modulator. I think that then, yeah, turns this. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's the switch right there. The mini Moog VCO3 becomes the LFO. Oh yeah, maybe it's CS15, like the one up there. Can you see that? It's up there. Do you know? I think it's one of my favourite synths. Well, I mean, I've kept it amongst a horde of other vintage stuff that's come and gone over the years. Yeah, something really, really satisfying about it, and the fact that it doesn't self-oscillate. The filter doesn't bother me at all. Okay. Right. So, see, I can't do this. I can't listen to this and myself echoing without being totally distracted. But I'm going to try my best. This is going to be the most challenge. Anyway. Okay. Oh. Ooh. I can see we're talking about Torsten. He had, is it COVID? He's got long COVID, isn't he, Torsten? So I think he's been very, very poorly. Unfortunately, so I know he's feeling better now, but I mean that's the recovery that. Why are you talking about babies? Okay, right. So let's turn that back off. So now, I don't know why I'm... Right. Jason Maggs, welcome back. Are you still on holiday? Turkey 1 minute. Caravan on the south of France the next. Right, okay, so that's beautiful trial. Oh, now then. Brilliant. No metronome. I can't remember how to do the metronome. Okay, now I'm going to do a little drum thing. Let's just talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to waz a bass drum. Should we do the 80s? Yeah, I think so. So, instruments, that's right. Note. Okay, I know that one is. 4 to the floor. Bit boring, but let's do that anyway. Okay. Interesting. There's no... That's so odd. That's shouldn't be working. Right, what we're going to do. Just the joy of synthesizers. Okay, so we'll go back to this one. I'm going to mute. So we've got a little hi-hat pattern. Actually, I'm just going to record. Yeah. There's something very satisfying about this. The way it kind of feels like an old-fashioned gaming device. So, yeah, let's get rid of that as well. No. Oh, it's this. Here it is. But I still haven't figured out how to do this without doing it like this. I'm sure there's a... You know, you get something and you spend a bit of time with it, but not enough. That's me and this. So, right, what have we got? It's just... Look at that! Pages! Right, I'm going to just stop that immediately. Right, okay. Have I... Oh. I'm a victim of my own efficiency. I've turned the input up, haven't I? Ah, let's go back. Because there was a buzz. It's probably returned, right? I think it's just too loud. How's that? Right. Okay. Shift arrow up twice. Ah, I figured out what it was, but okay. Is that feels heavily balanced to my right? But there we go. Delay. Right. Okay. Right. We were going to just do a button. We were going to do that, weren't we? Yeah, pattern. I think I might change it. Ah, was it 13? Oh, there you go. Yep. Okay. All right. All right. Now there is an easy way of doing this, and it's the fill. And each constant step every 4. Is that right? Fill. Is that right? No, I'm just messing this up. Anyway, oh, we just want a simple thing, don't we? Yeah. For anyone tuning in at this point, this is what you usually get. A bit of an ineptitude. Yeah. There we go. Where's that? Okay. I don't think we particularly want a Simmons. Right. Okay, slightly less annoying if I have this ear out for the delay. Right. So, if I now go instrument, let's go, hang on, stop. Record instrument, MIDI 7, MIDI channel 7. And this is what was freaking me out earlier. Like, oh, it's MIDI channel 9 now. What? How's that even a thing? Maybe did I change that? Anyway, is it playing? It has. It's changed MIDI channel all by itself. How is this even possible? Okay, is that right? Right, let's get this going. All right, okay, so delete that. Right. Oh. Whoa. Where am I going there? Oh lordy, synth gremlins every week, right? I think it could be World of Synth Gremlins. That coffee is good though. Let's just sit and talk about coffee and food. What's Jason Maggs been eating this week then? Any Turkish delight? There we go. Yeah, right. Let me just find out where that one's going. Ding. Is that right? I think it should be there, is it? Crikey. Jesus Christ, I'll just stop with this. It's not happening, is it? It's not happening. Let's mute that one. The world of gremlins. Right. Thanks, Andy. The world of synth, gremlins, and entertainment. I mean, it's something we all kind of like have to deal with, isn't it? Is the amount of technical stuff that we have going on constantly. A room full of stuff. I've got stuff flying in, you know, like this, and occasionally bits that I decide I'm going to use. The Zoya, what a cracking pedal that is. That was a curveball thrown to me, so I need to learn that. Just as an effects unit, multi-effects unit, just to demonstrate in the video. So that's going to be another partying people with it. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, that's the good one, right? So I'm going to spend a lot of time with the I have been spending time with the Polyend tracker, and I will be spending a little bit more time with it, just to sort of get my head around it. And I need to learn those simple things, like what was it that Tom said about the shift up to delete. So if I go back to the pattern now, and I go back to pattern 3, instead of muting it, which is what it's what I've been doing to get out of it, I go back to the pattern and I go shift up. Oh, no, what's it done there? I'm confused. Oh, hello. Now I'm really confused. Right, so if I go shift, and then delete. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is a trick. So those are the things I need to learn with this. Like, everything's got them, right? Everything's got a kind of a trick or two up its sleeve. It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't. Right. I'm going to. It's hard to remember all these workflows. Yeah, it is. And I think that's another thing, isn't it? If I was purely a musician, not someone who reviews and, you know, has to learn and show tips and tricks with using different gear, I would probably pick a very small handful of gear that I am comfortable with. I've said it before, and we've had them on the desk in a couple of episodes here, is that the circuit rhythm and the circuit tracks, for me, work really well for the way I work. I would like a super circuit though. If I'm honest, I'd like something that maybe I like the size, I like the form factor, and this has got a similar form factor. You know, I like that. I do like this, but I don't know it enough. So I would say this is almost there. I would like it to be polyphonic, and I would like multiple outputs. So Polyend, the Plus is great, but what about the Super Tracker Plus extended version? With multiple outputs, keep the input as well, you know, and obviously I know the Tracker Plus is 16 tracks, internal tracks, more memory, and I think you can still do MIDI tracks as well on top of that. I mean, that's for me, it's almost there. A short circuit, a smaller circuit, Chris, that'd be crazy. There is a smaller tracker, right? I mean, it's out there. So, you know, we have these workflows. I mean, I went from, you know, a room full of synths and just some small sequences and playing stuff into a 4-track set, you know, and doing all sorts of, you know, trickery after the fact, but basically starting hardware jams. We're talking 1992, and that kind of era for me, 91, 92. And then, of course, I did have the Atari then, but that then led to a PC in the mid-90s, which then led to a Mac in the late 90s. No, yeah, late 90s, which then led back to a PC. And, you know, I was doing what most people use, you know, I do, is making music in a very stationary kind of way. And I think back in the early to mid noughties, I wanted to get back to how I used to make music. So I started investigating all the sort of the possibility of being able to, you know, hardware sequence. So I ended up with a cow-eye sequencer, which is like a giant calculator MIDI thing, which is awful, difficult to use. That's why I ended up the MFB Synth, because I wanted something with a sequencer. I also almost bought an MAQ 16.3. And again, there was not really anything until the BeatStep came out that had CVing gate and sequencing, and it's like, oh, and yeah, so it was spot for choice now. But I still don't think I've got the right workflow for me. This is what I want to kind of play with at the moment and just get my head around and enjoy. And I you know, I do like the fact it's got a screen, and I do like the way it works. And I love the way it works when I know what it's doing. There's a couple of things that are just frustrating me at the moment is if I'm recording track, you know, and it's looping around, I don't want it to go over to the next track, and it seems to spill. So like a minute ago, the pattern 12, right? And I've got 4 patterns of this. It's like, I don't want 4 patterns, I want just one. So there's a few things I need to learn. Oh, thank you, Atomic Tom. Yes, please. Yeah, like this. It's already. It's good. I'm very happy with the way this is helping. Oh, exactly. So you know, you're all coming in, and that's nice. And I appreciate your return visiting every week. So yeah, absolutely. So let me just focus on this with my headphones a minute. Let's get that bass line back in. So I'm just going to dive down and see if I can get that going. A little preamble done. So what have we got? Yeah. That'll do. Let's put it on the... Want you there. Don't want you there. Is that what we're doing? Okay, right, that'll do. Okay, cool. So, why 3 oscillators? Let's go back to the theme of this. Why 3? You know. Okay, so that's one oscillator. Let's stick to the triangle. All right. So let's open the filter out a bit. Keep it. It's tracking across the keyboard. So let's turn that as well. And how much? I swear there's something wrong with the filter on this. There you go. There you go. Okay. Contour. Volume-wise, is that good between the drums and the synth? I'm going to open it out again. We can come back to that and just knock it back. Right, so one triangle with a little bit of fizz from the filter. We won't even talk about why the ladder filter. So let's add a similar octave. Let's double up. Oh, of course it doesn't, does it? oscillator 2 doesn't have triangle, it has noise. Now I don't know whether that's an issue with mine or it's a revision. I do like noise on a synth. But, okay, so let's bring in the second. Now there you go. Now I'd say that's why 2 oscillators. You've got them slightly out of tune. There's some movement there. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to change the shape so we can have 3 oscillators from triangle, which I do love, to square. Sorry guys. A bit more noticeable on the... Yeah. Thanks James. Yeah, it's sounding warm, isn't it? Sorry, Richard. Right, okay, so that's 2 oscillators. And a bit of extra oomph. Right, okay. Oh. Sorry, that wasn't cheeky, that was a sore point. Right, so 3 oscillators, all the same. You've got that nice phasey business. It's sounding bouncy, yeah. Nice lows, slow, groovy. Let's bring it in. Yeah. You've still got that kind of out of phase oscillation, which can be good in its own. It's a shame that that was so noisy, because that would have been good to add some distortion. Okay, but I'm guessing, no, watch your ears on this one guys. So you got that low, mid. Ooh, that grooves. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Lose the warmth and the weight. Envelopes, so important. So, yeah, it's quite weighty. It wasn't as weighty as a minute ago. Again, watch that sustain. The release is off. I think it just turns that into release. Steve, I feel you there. I'm in the same situation where I need to clear some space for more modules. So Pro Synth Network have got a little group, but I don't know if it's taken off yet. I mean, reverb. E-bass used to be crap. It used to be good. There needs to be like a vintage for synthed. Anyway. Okay. I like that. I mean, it kicks for its size, doesn't it? It's going out of tune in front of us. Love it. Okay. So, 3 oscillators, 3 octaves apart, same waveform. So, one of them is determined to get back to the same pitch. Synth market, yeah, I like that. Sunny synth market, like money supermarket, synth sunny. I think it needs a bit of love. That's why I was taking it apart, just to clean it. Okay. Oh, it's off though. Oh. Right. Okay, so the next point I was going to do is going to change the first oscillator to a different waveform. It's just doing that. It's definitely doing some stuff on its own here. I wonder if it's no. It does. Okay. Okay. Big E's in the chat. Hey, Cat J. Definitely cat vibes. Yeah, quite likely. It does sound like there's a low frequency oscillation happening to the pitch, some frequency modulation somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Oh. Right, let's go saw. The cat won't leave you in it. Oh, he's doing a puzzle, 1,000-piece cat puzzle. Super drift, yeah. Nice. Could be. Right. Okay. Right. Let's get a bit drifty. A little less. Has that stopped it? I wonder if it is some low frequency modulation coming from VCO3 being routed. Oh, I can hear a cat. That's actually Jackson, who's, yeah, he's a bit lost now. Jerry's gone, I think. We all missing Jerry this week. All right, okay. Okay, I think that's the point. Let's just stop that. So, 3 oscillators. I mean, I guess the monopoly has 4. So, with regards to that, is it just gonna clutter the sound? That's the point. I can't do that here right now, but that's definitely one. Oh, so is Jackson sat on the table? Oh yeah, Jackson sat on the table when he's trying to do the puzzle. You need to kick him out. Jackson, get out! Ridiculous cat. Just anyway. So, you know, on the one hand, you've got, in my sort of preference there for 3 oscillators was all in the same octave with slight, you know, detune on oscillator 2 and 3. But obviously when you start mixing waveforms, you get an even more complex sort of sound. And I think sometimes that can work really well if you've got the volume right. So for, you know, if we go back for, go back to this. Right, so that's, so triangle, mix that with a saw. You see the weight of the triangle and the bite of the saw. Let's put, yeah, an octave up and the square. Oh, that's quite a, you've got to be careful with the volumes. Because triangle tends to be quite quiet, right? Soft, but weighty. Look at that. Yeah, there we go. Fat batch. Yeah. Oh, sorry guys. There we go. And there you go. That's 3 oscillators. Sounds like just grabbing whole. Hello, Animation. Welcome. So there it is. Oh, it's quite feisty, isn't it? So what about? What's that? What is this? Random. Who said they wanted more cowbell? They've got it. Let's get rid of that. Oh, it's playing that. Okay. That's not what I would have gone for. What have we got in here? Ooh. Oops. See, for me, I don't know, it's not what I want, any of it. Is that even what I want? Do I want it there? 13 would be right. Oh, dear, oh dear. Yeah, I think it's a great concept, but it's going to take some time to play with. Yeah. Yeah, 808 state. Yeah, I thought that as well. Definitely. I think, where did these come from? It's an old sample CD, Time and Space thing. So it's likely around that time as well. What else we got? Ooh, that's not going to work, but... Is it muted? Yeah, see. Me playing guitar. Yeah, it does. And some singing. Uh-oh. Should we just go something like that? Yeah. Song Pacific. Yeah, well, I was doing drum and bass, so I was kind of thinking string lines. Ronnie used lots of string stuff in his stuff, so yeah, going for that kind of vibe. But it's also something kind of, yeah, kind of 90s housey kind of vibe as well. UK kind of needs more. Amen. Yeah, it does need a loop. Blinded by the teeth. Right, so I don't have a lot in here. What's this? Oh, great! It's not gonna play. Okay, no, it's just okay. Oh, can I just hear it? No. Okay, let's try that. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Christ, what is that about? Yeah. I think we need to turn that down. Right, is that it? It does need more tempo. I kind of like the low when we were doing the bassy stuff, but let's get tempo up instead. Okay. It would be easy if I could remember. Here. Let's stop. Okay. Someone's going to tell me. So, yeah, I was literally just about to go there, Tom. Thank you for that. Though. Tempo. Oh, it cannot be 170 BPM. That doesn't seem right at all. Let's get rid of that annoying. It does come with games. That's not one of them, but it's one you can play. Tricking yourself. Right, that does not sound like... Okay. This is where you need the wood block. Dig, 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 dig. 25. 35. Oh, you like that, James? Let's go with that, 130. Unfortunately, we need more on the old... There you go. needs a loop, which I do have. Not that though. God damn you. Okay. Can we? Yeah. I mean, again, having a sample-based sequencer sort of notepad is great, but it's only as good as the samples you got in it, and I've got very little in here. Ooh, what's that? I think that's about right, isn't it? That would work well with the strings, I think. Right, can it be in tune? It's not right, is it? It's not quite right. Maybe if we put it back to here. Yeah. So again, that's 170 BPM, not 130, and there's no way of getting anything in there that isn't already in there. But we're off topic. 3 oscillators. What's everyone think about that? About 3 oscillators? Would you have more? Would you have less? My preference is 2. Although tonight, quite like what we did earlier with the sort of the triangles. I'm going to get rid of those. With the slight phasing of, you know, detuning below and above the center pitch. I mean, that kind of really, for me, that kind of, okay, that's why 3. But you lose, of course, the low frequency oscillators, so you don't get any movement in that, maybe envelopes. But then if you look at, you know, something like a modular, I mean, you know, that would have been a great way to address this, but I wanted to keep it in a box rather than have it with multiple, you know, probabilities and possibilities. More is always better, says Anna in the comments there. What's an oscillator, says Simon? An oscillator is part of your life. It's what we do to breathe. It's what we eat. It's what we drink. And tonight, I'm drinking a Grumpy Mule. Oh, goodness gracious, that is... I don't think I'll be sleeping tonight, and I have a drive tomorrow. A small Welsh taxi service for Sunday nights. Grumpy Mule. I tell you what, that's not a bad idea, is it? I'll do that now, see? I'll get in my my little Fiat. What would be or I think maybe something like perhaps a Toyota Corolla, a burgundy with like tan inside, and velour, of course, the upholstery, marvelous. I'm pretty happy once I get to 8. But is that 8? I mean, I guess, when you stack them up to get a almighty kind of powerful kind of, that I think makes sense. You know, the sort of, the 6-track, for instance, that I have somewhere in a repair shop, you can't I can't. It's my 3rd cup. You're right. This is. It's very good, and it's not making me grumpy. It's having the opposite effect, which I think is quite a good thing. But yeah, stacking oscillators and creating a fat, kind of weighty sound, I think, is where it comes at. So yeah, maybe 8 is the magic number, not 3. So, you know, 8 is a good one. Uncle Onions. Tom, you watched it. Yeah, it's well, no, it's not. Uncle Onions they're all based on real people, by the way. They are all apps genuinely based on real people, but Uncle Onions is not based on the person who is fixing my things. He's from Sunderland, so he's a Mackham. He's a northern lad. I say lad, he's older than me, but I do need to see him. I haven't seen him for ages. So Steve Carman, where are you? I think more to the point is why I haven't visited him in the back of PMT, because they moved. And I've never been to the new shop, which is terrible, considering I worked with some of the stuff when they were at Sound Control. So, you know, shocking. I feel apology to you all there right now. I will visit you at some point. Okay, I call band name. What band name I sing the Body Electric? What band name? What have I done? The synth has 14 oscillators. Yeah, that's, again, you know, I guess, Andy, when you drone with synths, the more oscillators you have, the more you can do with them, right? And the more you can do with that drone. And I think that makes for a, you know, glorious texture. And I think that's the thing that I think is really, you know, important with oscillators is motion, texture, and weight. Yeah, that's it. Oh, Uncle Onions. I sing the Body Electric. You have to go to Gaz Williams' site, go to the Gaz Williams show, and type in synth panel, and in there you'll meet Uncle Onions. And that's a nickname that Gaz gave me years ago for pretty much being able to turn my hand to anything I ever go at. But I turned him into a character, loosely based on some people I have met who repair things. Not loosely, not at all loosely, very definitely. So Peter says, 3 oscillators on a mono synth sound is more than enough. Single oscillators like SH101 and Juno work well. I think with the Juno especially, and with it being a polyphonic synth, so 1 oscillator per voice. Sorry, is that right? Is that right? So if you've got 8 voices, 1 oscillator. So yeah, in polyphonic terms, that always sits so beautifully in any mix because it's not adding the weight. And I think that's important as well, is knowing when to have weight and when not to have weight in your track. And having, I mean, and again, I think the closest thing I've got to a Juno is the Nymphis, and that just sits beautifully. 6-note poly, I mean, just like a Juno, right? And it sits there. Yeah, so I'm banned from doing Uncle Onions in the house, by the way. The kids find it really weird. Find Uncle Onions a bit creepy. 1 oscillator. So yeah, Andy says if I'm making a pluck sound, 1 oscillator and 1 filter is fine. Yeah, I think there are definitely SH09. I had an SH101, then I sold it and bought an SH09. I prefer the sound of the SH09. But there's something very definite about the SH101. I think what my favourite single oscillator synth is CS5, and which is why I've ended up with a CS15, because that's 2 CS5s in a box, right? Each addressable independently via CV and gate. And that really does cut through. And again, that you know, you can get some hefty sounds with just bratwurst. Yeah, you can get some cool stuff in there. Yeah, thank you, I sing the body, and you can comment later. It was, yeah, I still want to do something with those guys. But yeah, that's another story. The Microbrute, yeah, cracking synth, you know, and again, that I think was, I mean, Arturia are pretty much responsible, I think, for affordable synths, affordable good quality synths that aren't relying on someone else's design, if you know what I'm saying, or hard work. So I've got a lot of time for Arturia, I really do, and I always have had. That's how it should be. I think you just need to tickle him. That's the only way to get rid of him. Or you can hog tie him and put him in the... No, don't do that. I wish I had less... Yeah, well, that's another thing. I've noticed that I've been off work and I've got a little bit of snack belly. So, yeah, so sometimes that's what you need. Matrix Brute. Yeah. Did I almost bought a Matrix Brute. and I still think I want a polybrute, but as you can see in here, I don't know where the heck I'd put it. It's definitely, well, go back to the big camera. It's just there's not enough space in here. I mean, it's full, and I've got a rack down there with an S5000, a Wave Station SR, an FZ10M, and an Alesis DM5, and I will be putting the JV1080 in there at some point, but I do want to make another table. I've got to go to IKEA. I haven't been to IKEA to get the parts to make the table I want to make, but I'm going to be doing that. I'll be doing that. So we'll do a rack, a top-down, insane kind of version of how to do things. But there we go. Teacher Bradford, yeah, it's just the way it is. It's just got to make the techno. It's too slow. Everything is too slow. It needs to be 130, 140 BPM. MS-20, yeah, I had an MS-10, which I had the most incredible sounds out of, and it's got that kind of rawness to it as well. I think that, I mean, we are lucky in that we've got access to modular systems like only ever dreamed of. You know, great synths that are just coming out of the woodwork. I mean, you know, Pittsburgh Modular Microvolt 3900, I freaking love that synth. You know, again, everywhere. But you go back in time and I think limited to the technology that was available then, and we have so much better technology now, especially when you consider all the kind of DSP stuff that's available as well. I mean, the Super 6, you know, that's an insane bit of kit, you know. But the character of these synths of the past were different from unit to unit, as well as being from revision to revision. You know, I still want, I haven't got any ARP stuff. I would, you know, I would happily have 2600 and probably an Odyssey. I think my favorite synth sound in a band, or my favorite bands featuring synths, have always been more on the ARP side than on the Moog side. And we're talking Genesis, so Pro Soloist, early days, and we're talking Deep Purple, ARP Odyssey on top of the Hammond. Yeah, John Lord. Now there's a synth player that you know you kind of don't really think of. Cowbell. So yeah, so I'm you know, those are the synths I think, but I would like a polybrute, but I don't have the space. So, I mean, I make do with some fantastic, oh look at this, beautiful, this, 4 notes of joy. Again, this is a weighty bit of kit. That was on here, and it'll be back on there. But yeah, you know, talking about quality products that you know, that have got character, that's got bags of it. ARP Odyssey, Billy Currie, yeah. I think that's the thing, isn't it? You kind of harken back to what gets you into synths and sounds and stuff, and you know, I mean, Jar Vangelis, and Vangelis is, whilst everyone says CS80, I think it's his mostly Roland stuff. You know, all that classic era, the 70s stuff it's more Roland than anything else, I think. And there's that moment for the soundtrack to Blade Runner where he's got his CS80, and of course, you know, that's what he's associated with. But I think when I hear the stuff I like from Vangelis is definitely all the kind of Spiral album, for instance, that kind of era, late 70s before Blade Runner, and that's, I'm pretty sure that's all Roland stuff. But anyway, we've gone over the hour. There it is. But yeah, there's a lot of good synths out there. Arturias and the Gemini, yeah. I think I'm the same, Peter. I do love a mono synth, and I don't know why that is. I had a Poly 600, Prophet 600. My first synth was a Poly 800, and then I started collecting bits and bobs, and I ended up swapping. What did I swap for the Prophet 600? My friend, a keyboard player in the band I was in, had that, and he's He's currently got a Jupiter 4. He's been through a whole bunch of stuff over the years, but screwy. Yeah, I don't know China very well. I'll have to sort of look into that one, but yeah. Yeah. Anything Richard Barbieri? Okay. 2600. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the thing, that the B word and the 2600 is such a, you know, it's such an affordable, you know, when you compare it to the Korg copy, because it is still a copy after all, isn't it? Even though it's, you know, under license. Anyway, Spiral, yeah, loads of stuff on that. Right, guys. Well, quick sort of play out, I think. But thank you again for joining. I might just turn the drums off, and we might just go with this. I don't know. Maybe we'll just play the sequencer. But yeah, the Korg one is quite small. Yeah. I think that's the thing, isn't it? With any, it's getting your character through your instruments and finding the instrument that best showcases that talent, or that enhances it, or that just gives you the right vehicle. I think that's what it is, and I think that's we've all got those bits in our sort of studios that we will go for certain things. Yeah. Hey Birkin, how you doing? You enjoying the tour? Steve Winwood's on tour at the moment. I used to be a crew member. They're doing a North American tour with the Doobie Brothers. So I hope Birkin's been to a lot of those. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me and indulging me with 3 oscillators. See you next week for jamming in Jim Jams. I'm not quite sure what I'll do there, but hopefully I'll have the modular back on the bench and we'll do some crazy stuff then. Thank you again, and yeah, be well until then. Right, let's see what we can do here. If I